Well, I made it into the spot that I wanted to be this evening. I busted out 2 deer. One of them I saw was a doe, and they were just bedded right over the hill from me. There are 5 scrapes in here that I can see from my tree stand. Like, there's just so much sign in here. Several rubs. There's a bunch of oaks in here, and they're just about gone by the looks of it. The acorns are, but the deer are still in here just tearing it up. We're right below a clear cut, and then off beside of me there's a right-of-way that cuts over into another clear cut. It's a pretty nice transition. Off to the other side of me there's a field with a bunch of short pines, so there's just a ton of sign in here. So it should be a pretty good evening. It's a long trip over today, but it's alright. We're in it now.
Good morning, everybody. I'm in my little mini cabin. This place is pretty cool. Just a little old tiny cabin. The microwave over here doesn't work, so I ended up having to order a pizza last night, and it didn't show up until like 9:30. So it was kind of a late night. I don't like eating that kind of stuff, especially late at night. Kind of feel like crap. But anyway, we're gonna get back out. We're gonna hunt the same spot we hunted last night. I left all my stuff in the tree. The two big deer that I would like to see at this place, one of them might have come in yesterday evening. A big deer was coming through the clear cut just as the doe that had spotted me in the tree was leaving, and she like kind of blew or stomped at him or something. She made a loud noise, kind of a half of a snort, and she was stomping at that deer, and it started chasing her. So I'm guessing that it was a buck, and it was definitely a mature deer. I mean, it was a bigger deer, it wasn't a little buck. So anyway, I'm gonna get my coffee ready, get something to eat, and get hunting.
can't get much closer to killing one than that. I had that buck at 10 yards with his buddy. His buddy was a nice little buck too, but I tried to draw and my arrow wouldn't stay knocked. I'd re-knock it, try to draw, re-knock it, try to draw. So I switched out arrows, and by the time I switched out arrows, he got behind a tree right here in front of me, and I couldn't draw, and then he walked straight away from me. And I mean, there were several times that I drew on him. I just couldn't get him to turn when I needed him to turn. I just couldn't get him to turn for a good shot. I had several quartering away shots that I probably could have taken, but it's raining today, and I don't want to wound one. I'm over here by myself. I don't want to wound one and try to track it in the rain. He's awesome though. He's a nice buck. Very nice buck. A couple more that have been on camera in here that I'd love to see, and this weather's just god awful. Rain and nasty stuff, but big bucks will move in that stuff, so I'm just gonna hang in here and keep an eye out. Hopefully we get another chance at a good one. I always say I only ever get one shot in Ohio. One shot a season. I hope that wasn't it. Because I should have killed that buck. I don't know what happened with the knock on that arrow, but I ended up dropping that arrow, and the deer didn't even pay attention to it. But I have no idea what happened. I've shot that arrow 1,000 times, and it's never done that. Oh well. If I didn't have bad luck, I might not have any. Oh, well, I put some miles on today. Didn't really film much. Walked a huge rid system out that is on our lease, and a lot of nice looking stuff, a lot of big timber on it, but just not a terrible amount of sign. So I'm gonna go back to where I hunted last week in here. I'd seen 2 big bucks back in here, and we have a cell camera out there, but for some reason it's not working, so I need to go out there and check it anyway while I'm here. So this evening, that's where I'm gonna hunt. Maybe back in there tomorrow as well, depending on what the wind's gonna do. It's actually broke and hasn't been raining here for the last hour and a half, which may be a real good time to be in here hunting. I probably should already be out, but it's about 2:30 maybe, so I got plenty of time. It's not going to get dark till 6 or so, so we're going to walk back in here and see what the sign looks like and get hunting. Man, I just shot a nice buck. He's a 10 point. He come right underneath me, and I shot him almost straight down. I mean, he was right underneath me, but I saw a bunch of blood gush right out of him. It looked like he kept my arrow. I don't know. It was like straight down between his shoulder blades. I mean, straight down. So, it's raining right now, but it's not supposed to rain all night. I've got to get down quick and see what it looks like. I mean, the shot sounded great, and there was blood coming out of him, and he just bulldozed down over this hill. So, I don't know.
Well, I'm back at my little cabin, and I decided not to track that buck tonight. It's kind of one of those things. It's the wrong decision if I don't find the deer, and it's the right decision if I do. I've shot so many deer in that same spot, right between the shoulder blades, basically straight down. I mean, man, he was right underneath me, and I didn't get to turn on my 360 camera to really get a good view of the shot, but he came right underneath me. I shot him directly between the shoulder blades. My arrow passed through, and he carried it for maybe 20 yards, and then it pulled out. I saw blood at impact. Like, when the arrow hit the deer, I saw blood pump out of it. He barreled through that freaking clear cut. My thought is he's going to be at the bottom of that in the morning, and I would rather track and not be able to find blood, but be able to see where he barreled down that hill in the morning than I would try to stumble around that clear cut at night. So it's a good decision if I find the deer. It's a bad decision if I don't. You never know. I have all day to look for him tomorrow, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dedicate the entire day to looking for that deer, and I think I'll find him. It is super thick down in there. So if, I mean, worst comes to worst, I'll just grid search, but I think I'll find that deer. I think I put a good shot on him. The sound of it, everything about it to me screams dead deer. So I'm gonna go to bed and wake up, get over there right at daylight, and go super slow. And that is my plan. Go super slow, glass a lot, pay a lot of attention to what's going on. I'm hoping it won't be raining, but they called for rain all evening, and from about 2 o'clock on, it just barely drizzled. And they're calling for a little bit of rain tonight, but just hope that that doesn't happen. And so maybe there will be some blood on the ground. It's just, everything is so saturated right now, it's impossible. It's hard for me to see blood when everything else is wet. I don't know how everybody else is, but that's how I am. So anyway, I'm going to bed, and we'll catch you guys in the morning.
Well, I decided to take a few minutes and sit down. I've searched 2 big drainages here. Walked up along a real fresh, clear cut. No real sign of that deer. So at impact, there's some hair where it came out. It's brisket. And there's a good track straight down off the hill, and then it flattens out. Once it flattens out, there are so many deer tracks and trails and kicked up leaves and everything else down there that you really can't gauge a direction to follow. So once I got to that, I just started the hollow that he's in. I just started walking up and down it at different elevations of it, and no real sign whatsoever. But I'm gonna keep doing it. And this is a super steep, deep hollow. The only way out would be to go down through the creek. An mortally injured deer isn't going to be climbing out of it. So, but if I keep walking it and cover every inch of it that I can, I think you could probably check the box that he's not a mortally injured deer. Although, I really think he is. I think he's in here. But we're just going to keep searching. Ain't much else you can do. Just keep looking.
Well, I wanted to make an outro to this video, and I honestly don't know much else of what to say. My Garmin told me that I walked 9 miles while looking for that deer, and it was a lot of back and forth, up and down in the same area, and then walked out some drainages for a couple miles, and I don't know. The problem with where I shot this deer, not location on the body, but on the planet, was that he just bolted down into this clear cut that is just so daggone thick. And he could have been 10 feet from me at any point while I was walking through there, and I knew that, so I just kept walking, you know, moving down 20 yards and walking it again, and moving down 20 yards and walking it again. And you know, I had to come home, but I'm not done looking for this deer. I am very confident that I killed the daggone thing. I've been bow hunting since I was thinking about this on my drive home since I was 9 years old, and I'm almost 37, so it's been a while. I've been doing it a little while, and I know there'll be some guys in the comments that want to tell me how they've never lost deer and how they've never made bad shots and how they are experts, and I don't buy that. I don't buy that for a minute from anybody. Every real bow hunter I know has lost one before, and it doesn't feel good. I'm not happy about it. I've done it on video before. I lost one a couple years ago in Ohio, and didn't feel any better then than it does now. So I don't know. I still have hope that I will recover this deer, even though I won't be recovering any meat off of him. I'm highly confident I killed him. The neighbor down the road is going to keep an eye out for me, keep an eye out for buzzards, and I don't know what else to do. I'm going to go back here in a couple days, and maybe I'll stumble on him or smell him or something. But I think he's just right below where I was hunting in that clear cut. I really do. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching this video. It's a long one, and if you're still on here, you're a true Hunt Appalachia fan, or you just really hate me. But I appreciate it. We'll get back out there, onward and upward, and hopefully we still find this deer.